Channel 127, Thursday, January 21st, the first full day that Joe Biden is president. What does it feel like? I mean, seriously, how does it feel? We all worked so hard to make this happen. And today we saw Joe Biden, the president, talk about COVID. And he had a press conference. And in this press conference, he didn't complain about how unfair the media is to him. And he didn't make himself the biggest victim. Instead, get this, he actually spoke about having a plan to save lives from COVID. What's this world coming to? A president who actually cares and compassionate? What a sharp contrast to Donald Trump, who was a narcissistic white supremacist who cared only about himself, who celebrated selfishness, and played president for the last 4 years, supported by, sadly, millions of Americans. Don't know how we'll ever reach them, but I can tell you this. More American lives will be saved because of Joe Biden as president now during the hardest time of COVID. You know, yesterday we had the most deaths from COVID, over 4,300, the most this entire time. It means there are 4,300 families today mourning the loss of a loved one. And I urge people, don't look at those numbers as statistics. Look at those numbers as someone's loved one, as a father, a mother, a beloved uncle, an aunt, a child, a grandparent. This touches so many. And as Joe Biden said today, we will likely lose another 100,000 Americans in the next month, meaning about 3,000 plus a day. So that's why Joe Biden signed 10 executive orders today to deal with rolling out the vaccine, which Donald Trump has failed at that horribly. They had no plan. And what Joe Biden's really doing is showing here's a national leadership. As opposed to Trump, the states do everything. Fight over PPE equipment in the past. Do whatever you want with administrating the rollout of the vaccine. No, we're going to have national leadership. And that's what Joe Biden, he signed that. Also signed an order for a mask requirement for 100 days on federal property. And made a plea to everyone else, a patriotic plea, to wear a mask to save a life. As he noted, you can save 50,000 lives between now and the next few months if you wear a mask when you're around people and you can't socially distance. Think about this sincerely. How often in your life do you have a chance to save someone else's life? Not too much, but here you do. And in turn, someone can help save your life. And let's be clear, masks now they show can actually help you prevent catching the virus. But the main thing is you wearing it to save others and others doing the same thing, because we're all in this together. We're either fellow Americans or we're strangers sharing the same land. I'd rather view us as fellow Americans. When Dr. Fauci spoke today, Joe Biden, before Fauci spoke, said, you're not going to hear from me as much. You're going to hear from the experts and the doctors because we're going to follow the science. Crazy talk. A president saying, I'm not going to get up there and just wing it. I'm going to have the doctors speak to you. And Dr. Fauci said something which is making headlines. And the minute he said it, I knew it was going to be a defining line showing the difference between the Trump failed administration and Joe Biden's. Dr. Fauci was asked a question, and Fauci didn't know the answer. And he said this, quote, because one of the new things in this administration is if you don't have the answer, don't guess. Just say you don't know the answer. Obviously telling us with Trump, because Trump would stand right there, that if you didn't know the answer, you filled it in whatever Trump wanted. In fact, Dr. Fauci laughed, and I played on my show, this kind of laugh of freedom. Now he can speak bluntly. And he said he always spoke the truth, but there was pressure often to compromise the truth by Donald Trump. And that's the reality. In the midst of a deadly pandemic, what was going on, you have the narcissistic leader who sacrificed the truth because he thought it helped him politically. And sadly, our fellow Americans are dead, including Trump supporters are dead. And Trump doesn't care. Today, Joe Biden in 5 minutes, showed more compassion than Donald Trump has showed his entire life. So Dr. Fauci gave a great press conference. We have executive orders that Joe Biden signed yesterday, 17, ranging from returning to the Paris Accord to the mask mandate to getting rid of the bigoted anti-Muslim ban, the Muslim ban that Trump put into effect because during the campaign banning all Muslims, he had promised. Ultimately, he just banned from several countries because that was red meat for his base. That's where we are. It's refreshing to have a new president. And I think something else is going on for a lot of us, and I have to admit, myself included, the stress level is starting to finally come down. And I think in the next few days, I will realize, and many of us, how the level of stress we actually had. And some of us were aware of it at different times, certainly, that Trump had put us through. I mean, how many days began with, "You're not going to believe what he tweeted," and ended with, "I can't believe what he did today," for 4 years? We were all experiencing a collective trauma. I call it post-Trump traumatic disorder. We have PTTD, and that it's real. And I think you're going to see it manifest in all of us in different ways. And I hope little by little we'll just start to relax and calm down. Our blood pressures will come down. Pharmaceutical companies won't be selling as much high blood pressure medication for people because of this. That'll be a really good thing. But I think it's going to be a challenging time for people to cope a little bit. I don't know if even myself, we're all aware of what we've gone through for 4 years and how our bodies have been stressed, how our minds have been stressed through this trauma, and how it's going to show up in the future, in the next few weeks and months as we go forward. So let's take a breath. We're going to have more fun on the show. We're going to play some clips from the great celebration last night. Some singers like John Legend, and you had Katy Perry and others doing a great job. It was a lot of fun, a celebration of Biden and Harris being sworn in and the end of Donald Trump. So tune in, join us, be a part of this. We are our own support network on our show here. We're a family. So be a part of our family. We're on Sirius XM channel 127, 6 to 9 p.m. every night. Again, if you don't subscribe to Sirius XM, go to the website, free trials, check it out. Be a part of our family. Call in, join us. We want to have you with us. There's a lot more work to be done. Remember this, if you want progress, stay active. Thanks for tuning into my little preview of tonight's Dino Vidala Show.